Poll question, Seton. What are you thinking about today?
Well, we'll probably start with who had the best weekend, who had the worst weekend. It's one of our favorites on Monday.
Okay.
You want to start positive?
Yeah.
Okay. How about Puka Nacua?
Damn.
He had a great weekend.
Yeah, he did. He's different. Like, there are receivers that are fast. There are ones that are quick. He just is tough to bring down.
That catch he had on the sideline was unbelievable.
Yeah. It's almost when you watch and you're going, and, Cooper Kupp has been unbelievable. But Puka Nacua, that's the guy. He's the guy. And you watch him and you go, he's not fast. He's just physical. And all of a sudden, you're pulling in 12 catches. All of a sudden, Buffalo was back and forth with this. And they realized, hey, do we have any defense here? Because that's what the Rams have offense. They have a whole lot of offense. But I loved what I saw with Josh Allen. When you throw for 3 and you run for 3, that's never been done before. And no sacks. Here is Sean McVay, the Rams coach, talking about the greatness of Josh Allen.
That's an excellent team. You see Josh Allen is an alien. Some of the stuff that he can do and the things that he can create, we knew he was capable of that. He's shown that. It's why he is, as well respected and regarded in this league as he is. It's all deserved and earned. But our guys found a way to just make enough plays to be able to come out on top.
Yeah, they did. It was fun. That was back and forth. Really enjoyed that. All right, so you have Puka Nacua. Who else?
And you know what else, too, with Puka? He's been hurt a lot this year, but he's clearly a real deal or like a real dealer, in that they don't – you get a little bit of tape on this guy. You figure out how to – nobody's figured that out yet.
It's true. Yeah.
How about – who had a pretty good weekend, believe it or not? What about Aaron Rodgers?
Okay. I'm listening.
He did a couple of things that you were like, hey, there we go.
You mean the things he's supposed to do?
Well, yes.
He threw for 300 yards. Okay. And they lost.
They did. They did lose.
But it's a close game. This is why you have Aaron Rodgers. Close games.
You can't blame this one on him. That feels like a win. You can't blame this one on Aaron Rodgers.
Is he blaming everybody else? He's like, you can't blame me.
Yeah, I hope so.
You know who had a good weekend? And he lost. And he lost the previous week. And he lost the previous week. Bryce Young.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Seton was saying, Carolina, you got to feel pretty good about that. Bryce Young looks comfortable. They almost knocked off the Chiefs. They almost knocked off the Eagles. And it felt like they had a chance. And that's a win in my book, especially where they've been.
Dave Canales, you're the head coach there. You're like, hey, it started out abysmal. Yeah. It started out worse than we could have possibly imagined, but it's turned around. You're competitive. You have a good weekend, a competitive weekend against a clear Super Bowl contender.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah, and then you did it against the Chiefs where you had a chance.
Yeah.
Yes, Paulie.
I'll throw in Brock Purdy, 20 of 25, 325, 2 touchdowns, almost a perfect quarterback rating. They smoked the Bears. He's looking at a contract in this offseason.
I know. I thought maybe you do that Baker Mayfield kind of contract.
Yeah.
And the insiders, Ian Rappaport, was saying, no, full boat. That they're looking at a full boat.
Full boat.
For Brock Purdy. How about Sam Darnold? Sam Darnold, 5 touchdown passes.
All he does is win.
I like how the Vikings, everybody's going, Vikings are geniuses. They got Sam Darnold.
Well, man, are they really brilliant?
You're not getting credit for Sam Darnold. You're not. You drafted J.J. McCarthy. Kirk D. Cousins got rid of him, and Sam Darnold was going to be a backup. Now, he's played well, but I don't know if I can go, man, that organization, they're 2 steps ahead of everybody else. I don't think you were planning on this, but Sam Darnold, he's been great at times. He's been great. And Kirk D. Cousins
has not.
He is not. And, I do like Kirk D. Cousins, But this isn't personal when I say they should bench him. I would like to see Michael Penix Jr. III get a chance, go in there. He can't be worse. It'd be almost impossible to be worse. And I would put him in there, and maybe you see something. And let's say he struggles. Okay, at least he got a taste this year to get ready for next year. Yes, Paulie.
A month ago, Kirk Cousins had just finished winning 5 of 6 games. His last 2 games were on national TV to end October. They beat Tampa and beat Dallas. He had 4 touchdowns and then 3 touchdowns the next week. No picks. In the last 4 weeks, he's thrown 8 interceptions and no touchdowns. He undid it in a month.
The Falcons are the first team in NFL history to have a 4-game span where they didn't have a passing touchdown. They threw over at least 8 interceptions while allowing at least 8 passing touchdowns and getting 0 interceptions.
Woo! Ow! Stat of the day! Stat of the day! Stat of the day! Stat of the day! This is the stat of the day!
Brought to you by Panini America. By the way, congratulations to the Jets. They're officially eliminated. And they have broken a tie with the Buffalo Sabres for the longest active playoff drought across all 4 major sports leagues. I'm watching, I'm going, and a friend of mine is a Dolphin fan. He goes, we can't lose to the Jets. I said, you're not. He goes, how can you say that? I said, you're not going to lose to the Jets. I've seen this movie. I know how this plays out. I know. The Chiefs continue to do it. I don't think they're a great team, but they're great at winning. They know what to do, when to do it. And there's a certain calm that you have. There's certain athletes, certain teams, certain coaches that they prepare for this. They're good. They're just good at being able to kind of like block everything out. And look at the last play with Mahomes and Kelsey. They've been doing this a long time. Nothing fancy about it. It's just Mahomes has this ability to make a subtle move. When he feels pressure, subtle move, get out of the way. He finds Kelsey, and then you kick a field goal. Here's Andy Reid after the game.
I have trust in Matthew, so I was good with where we were. Percentages are pretty high. I know we've won a game in that same situation on the opposite end, so I get it. But he's a solid kicker, so I wasn't too worried about it.
Yeah, you have Mahomes. You just start there. Nobody has him. Josh Allen was wonderful against the Rams, incredible. But this Kansas City defense is good, and they keep you in the game. And then when it comes down to the final 2 minutes, as we saw with Brady, as you saw at times with Montana, it was like, uh-oh, you're in trouble. And that's the feeling. I can't imagine what that's like for the defense when they're going, God, you want your offense, just score a touchdown. Just score make it tough. Now they have a chance. And then you go out there and he's just looking for one little moment. And he got it. And they won again. And it's not by accident. I mean, they've done this. They continue to do this. And the game has turned into, they're all one-score games, it feels like. 99 games have been decided by 6 points or less. That's the most through Week 14 in NFL history. Yeah, they continue to set that record every single week. These games come down to one score. And that's why one moment, one mistake, and then you're done. And the great teams take advantage. They seize that moment. They embrace that moment. They love that moment. Yes, Mark.
If you're a Chargers fan, did you feel good about that yesterday? Like now if we make the playoffs, we can really make some noise when we get in there.
I thought they were going to win the game prior to the start. I thought they're going to win this game. And you have your moment there. But the Chargers got to get to that point where they can win these games, where Justin Herbert says, I got it. Jim Harbaugh says, hey, we got this. They had their opportunity. And they're still a dangerous team. It's kind of interesting, though, how Justin Herbert's being used. Look at some of these quarterbacks. The Bills don't want Josh Allen throwing the ball 35 times. They're so much better when he does it. Jalen Hurts with the Eagles. He didn't really do much damage. Justin Herbert. He does, he threw a lot more than I thought he was going to, but you kind of want to get that balance. We're seeing these offenses want to be a little more balanced. Now, I don't know if they're going to be like that in the playoffs, but they do look for balance here. The Ravens run the ball. All these teams, the Eagles are probably a run-first team now. Buffalo runs the ball really well. Like, this is what teams want to get. Give me balance here a little bit. Or maybe it's 60-40, because it wasn't that long ago when it was probably 80-20 passing to running. And your running back was a guy who caught passes. Yes, Paulie.
2 years ago, Justin Herbert had 699 passing attempts. This year, he's on pace for 530.
Yeah.
Same number of games.
Yeah, they want that because that means that you can control the clock. You are probably ahead in the game, and I think that's really the important part of all of this. You're getting towards the postseason now. Can you do what you've done in the postseason? And with Kansas City, as much as they're not a great team, but having that ability to win. Who else, game on the line? What other team do you go, they can be as good as Kansas City? And the answer is nobody. Truly nobody. Can I trust Jalen Hurts in that moment? He's going to make that big play. Josh Allen, is he going to make that big play? Justin Herbert, Jordan Love, Jared Goff. There's one Mahomes. That's it. Because he has shown that he can do that. These other players, Jared Goff has gotten to a Super Bowl, an NFC title game. Jordan Love has played well last year in the postseason. Josh Allen, we've seen him play well up until he doesn't play well. Joe Burrow's not going to be in the playoffs. Tua, by the way, is playing really well. I watched a lot of that game with the Jets, and he looks really this is going to sound like it's not a compliment. He looks efficient. There's just an efficiency there. And spreading the wealth around. Russell Wilson Jr. III played well. Although I'm watching, and Jameis throws a touchdown pass. And I'm like, okay. And Nate Burleson comes on to give the update from CBS. He's like, something about Jameis is must-see TV just like Jerry Springer. And speaking of Jerry Jeudy with a touchdown. I go, okay, all right. Now, let me see the next time he gets the ball, because I can pretty much guarantee Jameis Winston's going to throw an interception. And bingo, bango, bongo. There you go. He had two interceptions and 2 touchdown passes.
One for me, one for you. He's a sharer. He's a carer.
Yes, he is. Yes, Marvin.
So he still hasn't been delivered from those pick sixes.
No, he is not. No, he is not. Yes, Paul.
Going back to Mahomes and winning the MVP, if he ever wins it again, it probably won't be stats. 2 years ago, he had 41 touchdowns. Last year, in 16 games, 27 touchdowns, 14 picks.
Yeah.
For him, that's below average. This year, he's on pace for 27 touchdowns and 14 picks.
Yeah. Yeah. I think those days are gone of, these guys throwing 40 touchdown passes. And I go back, year 2, he threw 50 touchdown passes. Second year in the league, first year starting, 50 touchdown passes. I mean, that's like Dan Marino, his second year. They went to the Super Bowl.